Are your computer drives filling up with terabytes of data? Then a network attached storage or a NAS may be the right solution for you. Today I will open and install a Synology DiskStation DS918 Plus with 4 hard drive bays. That is coming up. Hi, I am Ovi and I have been working IT for a good part of my life. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next video. Here it is, guys, the Synology DS918 Plus. I also got it with 4 Western Digital Red 10 terabyte drives. Installation guide. Got some screws, network cable, another Cat 5 cable, and power cable. In addition, 2 keys to the bays. And I also have these drives. Western Digital, 10 terabytes. Now this NAS can use only one hard drive, but if you want to create a RAID, make sure that you buy 3 or 4, in this case 4, hard drives with the exact same size to make best use of storage capacity. So again, make sure that you buy them all the exact same size. Alright, so here we have the status indicator light, 4 disk indicator lights, USB 3, power button, and the drive locks. Alright guys, so we have a couple of LAN ports here so we can connect the network cables to. We have a reset button here, it's very small, right there. We have an eSATA port or eSATA port. We have the power port, a couple of fans, and a Kensington security slot there, and another USB 3 port. Okay guys, so this eSATA port will allow you to expand. You can connect another 5 bays to this, which can allow you a maximum capacity of 108 terabytes. And here you have a couple of M.2 SSD slots so you can create SSD cache volume. Alright, so this is the lock. You can just lock it so no one walks away with the drive. Alright, so that's what it looks like. That's where they're going to connect all the drive bays. And as you notice here, it already has one memory module, and you can expand memory right there by inserting another memory module there. So just check with Synology to see what's compatible with this, and I'm sure they have it on their website. Alright guys, I just want to repeat that this is a Western Digital 10 terabyte drive, but make sure that your drives are specifically made for a NAS. As you can see here, this is the Western Digital Red NAS hard drive. Now to install the hard drive, you're going to take the bay and you're going to take out this small plastic piece on each side. And notice the drive has 3 holes. You're going to line it up with the 3 holes here on the bay. So you're going to go ahead and push it in. Yep, make sure it lines up. And then you're going to put the plastic pieces back in there. You see these little tabs? They're going to go right there. It's pretty straightforward. Go ahead and press it in. There we go, there's one. I'm going to go ahead and insert the other one on the other side. This will hold the drive in place. There it is. And then I'm going to go ahead and insert this drive Make sure it's all the way back and press. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and insert the last drive. So guys, you can also use, instead of the 3.5-inch drives, you can also use the 2.5-inch drives. So it'll take either or. So now what we're going to do is going to connect it to the network. Okay, here's the power and the Cat5 network connection. Alright guys, so once it is connected, you're going to go to a browser and you're going to type find.synology.com. Hit enter and make sure that it is connected to your router. So right now it's searching for a Synology device on my network, and I'm just gonna hit connect, agree to the end user agreement, click continue. Okay, so now I'm on the setup screen. I want to go ahead and set up, and it's telling me install DiskStation Manager or DSM. Install the latest DSM for new features and security fixes. So you can either do it manually or install now. I'm going to go ahead and install now. Agree to this term. So make sure that obviously you have a blank or empty hard drives, because this is going to erase all the data in them. So now it's going to install Disk Manager. It could take a couple of minutes, and according to this, it's going to take about 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go bother my wife for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to let this run. Okay guys, so now I see that it's restarting, so it's going to take about 8.5 minutes. Okay guys, so it's finished restarting, and it's asking me to create an account, an admin account for this DiskStation. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a name. I'm going to click next. Okay guys, so here what it's asking me is to set up a quick connect. That makes it easy to access your Synology DS918 without port forwarding. This is a way to connect to the Synology from a remote location, but I'm going to go ahead and skip this step. I don't have a quick connect ID yet, which is required here. Okay, so here's the DSM. This is the main menu right there. Package Center. File Station and DSM Help. Okay, widgets. So here we have a wealth of information. If you click on this plus sign, you can select storage, connected users. So these are the users, myself and the admin. I'm also the admin. So, but if I click on Resource Manager, it shows the performance on my CPU, memory, disk, and volume, etc. Connected users, speed limit. Let's go back up to Task Manager. It shows you all the services that are running and all the processes. So I'm gonna get out of here. And if you wanted to just close this, you can just click up here and it goes away. Click on it again and it shows up. Yeah, very useful. As you can see, my system is healthy, and that's the server name. I called it OV-WAN. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Package Center and check out a bunch of apps here. So we have backups for business, DNS server, document view, iTunes server. Synology directory services or server, and a bunch of other popular applications. And you can even install a Plex media server. This is very common amongst my friends. Okay, so now I want to configure my RAID configuration. So I'm going to go up here to Storage Manager, and I'm going to select Storage Pool, and I'm going to go ahead and create a pool. So here, let me see what I have available here. If I leave it as default for better performance, I click Next, and these are my options. RAID 1, 5, 6, 10 basic, JBOD, and RAID 0, but I selected 5 as the best one. Minimum number of drives per RAID, it says 3, but I have 4. But let's go back. If I select higher flexibility, what is this all about? So here is suggesting a Synology type of RAID. Minimum number of drives, 1. For SHR2, 4. But before I make up my mind, I'm going to go ahead to the Synology website. I'm going to type Synology RAID configuration. So here, if I have, you notice all the different drives up here, different size drive. I have 10, so I'm going to click on 10. And it put one 10 terabyte drive down here. I'm going to click on it again for a second drive, a third time for a third drive, and a fourth time for a fourth drive. So now I have 40 terabytes. And this is what they recommend. They recommend either SHR or RAID 5. But what if I change it to an SHR2? Look what happens. Available space 20 terabytes unused, and 20 terabytes for it's used for protection. RAID 5 is 30 terabytes, which is available space, and 10 terabytes for protection, which I think RAID 5 in my case is plenty, or it's pretty good. If I go to 0, that's what I get. RAID 1, 6, 10, F1. That seems to be similar to a 5, so I'm just gonna stay. I think I'm gonna just stay with RAID 5. So I'm gonna go back here, and I'm gonna stick with RAID 5. I'm just gonna hit next. Click next. All the data on the newly added drives will be erased. Are you sure you want to continue? Yeah, obviously the drives are blank anyway. There's no information in them. And I'm going to click on apply, and it's saving. I'm going to click OK. Alright guys, so this is the available disk space that I have, 27 terabytes, which is pretty good. And right now it's verifying the drives in the background, checking parity consistency. Now this is going to take a long time. It could take easily a couple of hours. So I'm just going to go ahead and do other things now while I wait. Alright, so while this is working, I'm going to go ahead and create a volume. I'm going to go to create, and you can either do a quick or a custom. Well, in my case it won't let me do a quick. Custom. That's probably because of the storage pool being created right now. So I go ahead and click next on this, and it tells me right there storage pool is going to be created as a RAID 5. Click next, and you have two different file systems: BTRFS, which is nothing but a file system that supports advanced features including shared folder snapshots and replication, folder quota, advanced data integrity protection, and DDSM. Now this one is ext4, is used in the Linux operating system. So I'm just going to leave it as is, default. Click next, and I'm going to max it out obviously, and just click next and apply. So just like the other window, it's going to take a couple of hours. It's creating a file system right now. So yeah, I'll be able to do other things in the meantime. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours. Actually, it's been like 2.5 hours, and it's only at almost 15%. So this is going to take a very long time. Okay, so we're back, and it is finished creating the storage pool and the volume. Now, I do have to tell you this is the next day. It did take over 10 hours to create both the volume and the storage pool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to File Station, and here it's telling me that there is no shared folder available. If you want to go to the shared folder page to create a shared folder, click OK, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So here you have to create, just name your folder. I'm going to call it YouTube stuff. Then I'm going to click next. I don't want to encrypt it. I'm going to click next. I'm going to click there. Enable data checksum for data integrity. Enable file compression. I do not want to enable folder quarter. I'm just going to leave it at default and click next. And then apply. And here it is. Now I'm never going to have a guest signing into this, so I'm going to give myself rewrite permissions and then click OK. Alright, so this is a folder I created, and you can either close this and go back to File Station, and there it is. There's my folder, but there's nothing in there right now. And I'm going to go ahead and show you next how to add data to that specific folder. Okay, so the way I'm going to add data to this is, notice my IP address up here. I'm going to go ahead and open up File Explorer. Alright, so I have File Explorer open, and I'm going to type this IP address up here. So it's / / 192.168.1.184. And it's going to ask me for my username and password. I'm going to tell it to remember my credentials, click OK, and there it is. There's my YouTube stuff folder. So it's empty right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop a file from my desktop right into it. And there it is. So if I double click it, there it goes. It's opening up on my other screen, by the way. So it's working just fine. So yeah. And here, if I do a refresh, right there, it shows up on my File Station now. So I just wanted to mention that the type of drives that I bought, again, they are the Western Digital Red NAS HDDs. Now, if you notice here, a 4 terabyte 5400 RPM drive goes for $95. A 10 terabyte, which is what I have, they go for about $264. Now, keep in mind, these are for 5400 RPMs. If you wanted a slightly faster one, 7200 RPM, for a 6 terabyte one, it'll go for $194. So they're quite pricey, but whatever you do, make sure that when you buy your 4 drives, make sure that they are the exact same speed and size. This particular NAS is a DS918 Plus. They used to be more expensive in the past. I bought mine about a year ago. I've had it on the floor, just waiting to get some time to install it. But now they have the newer version, which is the DS920 Plus, and it's a lot cheaper now. So this is the one that I would recommend. And I'm going to go ahead and link it, put it on the description below, so you can just go ahead and click on it, and it'll take you right to this very link here. So yeah, this is a basic installation of the Synology NAS DS918 Plus DiskStation. I hope that you were able to learn something, and I'll come back and probably do a couple more videos on installation of packages here sometime in the future. So you guys have a great day. I'll see you on the next one.